Welcome to open enrollment for Joseph Hughes Construction Companies. I am Cheryl and Scott is here. We're with Concordia. And this is your open enrollment meeting for plan year December 1st through November 30th, 2026. And so Concordia, we are an insurance agency. We're not an insurance company like Sarah with Kaiser and Margaret with Colonial, who are joining us today. We have offices locally in Portland and Salem. Reach out to me or Scott if you have any benefit questions. You need a new ID card. You want to review plans during open enrollment. You might have coverage or network questions. That's where we can help you at. And as I said, this is your open enrollment meeting. So what open enrollment means is this is your opportunity to join the plan if you have not, without a qualifying event. Otherwise, during the plan year, once December 1st rolls around, if you have not elected a plan, you can't just join the plan if you would like to without a qualifying event. Qualifying event would be birth, adoption, marriage, loss of other coverage. And with qualifying events, you do have a limited amount of time to join the plan, and that window is usually 30 days. So you want to make sure that you talk to Jen and Taylor if something comes up and you would like to join the plan. And so with open enrollment, today is the kickoff. We're going to review the plans, talk about the benefits, and then you have until end of day, Monday, November 24th, to turn any new enrollment elections or changes into Jen so she can get those over to the carriers to be processed. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn this over to Sarah so that Sarah can go ahead and talk about our Kaiser benefits. So let me stop sharing.
Okay, sounds great. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Great, thank you, Sarah.
Yes, no, thank you. So I'm going to actually pull up your Concordia spreadsheet here that shows all three medical plans right side by side. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So you do have three medical plan options that you can choose from, which is great. And they are the same medical plan options that you've had in place since last year or probably the year before. So we're renewing as offered. So not many changes coming up. So this is ultimately just a reminder of what your benefit options are. And this is your open enrollment time. So this is your time to change to a different medical plan if you want to. Whichever medical plan that you choose, your dependents have to follow. So your spouse and children are enrolled on the same medical plan as you. So starting with the first medical plan option is the Silver 3000 plan. Again, no changes to this plan. The deductible is $3,000. And you only have to meet that for the more major services. As your eyes glance down the column, you'll see 40% co-insurance for inpatient or emergency room, and that's after deductible there. So you can see which services do apply to the deductible. You only have to pay that once in the calendar year, and that does roll up to your out-of-pocket max of $8,900. So anything that you do pay out of pocket, including your deductible amount, all gets put into your out-of-pocket max bucket. So the most that you would pay in the calendar year would be $8,900 on this plan, or $17,800 for a family. And then just a quick reminder, preventative care, telehealth services, which is virtual care through your kp.org app. That's all free for you, no additional charge. If you were to see your primary care provider, your first 3 visits seeing your primary care provider is only a $5 copay, and then it would change to a $40 copay for your 4th visit and moving forward. It's a $55 copay to see a specialist. You do need a primary care referral to see a specialist. So think of it as seeing a dermatologist or radiologist, podiatrist, any specialist. You do have to have a referral. The only exception is mental health. You do not need a referral. Urgent care, you do have to go to a Kaiser Permanente urgent care location. Just want to have that be a quick reminder. And the closest location to Joseph Hughes Construction is probably our Beaverton Medical Office and the urgent care facility. But if you call our nurse advice line, they might be able to treat you over the phone or set you up with a virtual care appointment, and then that appointment is free for you. Or they can send you to the urgent care facility that has the shortest wait time as well. Just touching upon emergency room, you can go to any emergency department, even in this area, the metro area. So if you by chance have to get transported by an ambulance, just know that the ambulance can take you to a Providence emergency department, and that is totally fine. Get the treatment that you need. And then just notify Kaiser when you're in a stable position, and your benefits will apply for the emergency department visit. Touching upon alternative care, you do have coverage to see a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, and a naturopath for just a copay. So this is a great benefit. These providers are not located at Kaiser Permanente locations. Instead, we contract with CHP Group, which is probably the name that you recognize. Just a heads up, CHP Group did recently rebrand, and they are now called Hariah Health. And so if you were to go to the website, chpgroup.com, it will automatically transfer you over to hariahhealth.com, to their new website. It's the same network. So if you're seeing a chiropractor in that network, you can still see them. They're still part of the network. So the only thing that really changed is just the name. Any questions about your benefits on this plan? Okay. The Gold 1000 plan essentially operates the same way. You have to go to a Kaiser Permanente medical office locations and hospitals. It's just a little bit lower deductible amount, as well as lower copays. So this might be a good plan option if you know that you might have more something more happening this next coming year, such as maybe a surgery, or if you just prefer to have lower copays for when you go in and see the provider, this might be a good plan option for you. But essentially it operates the same way, so I won't go into it in detail here. Your third plan option is the Gold Added Choice plan. And so you can see here that there's 2 columns, and each column has a different level of coverage based on the provider that you see. So the Added Choice plan ultimately gives you more choice in the providers you can see. The first column here is Kaiser Permanente providers and hospitals. And then you can also opt to go outside of the Kaiser system and use the First Choice Health Network. And so, for example, if you were to go and see a Kaiser primary care provider, but you want to see a specialist that's outside of Kaiser, then you certainly can under this Gold Added Choice plan. The deductible and out-of-pocket max do cross accumulate between tier 1 and tier 2. So if you met your deductible in the Kaiser network, then you've automatically met $1,000 in the First Choice Health Network, which is great. A lot of people like to use this plan to be able to see a specialist or a primary care provider outside of the Kaiser system. But if you have labs or prescription fills, then you can bring those back into the Kaiser system to get a lower out-of-pocket cost. So for example, if you see the lab here, it's only a $20 copay if you come to a Kaiser lab versus having it be subject to the deductible if you go outside of Kaiser. And usually people don't have a relationship with a lab tech, so that makes it an easy way to be able to have your dollars go further. And if you use mail order pharmacy within Kaiser, then you can get a 90-day supply for just 2 copays. So for example, if you are taking a prescription every day, then you could get a 90-day supply for just 2 copays and pay the $20 copay versus much more outside of the Kaiser system. But this does allow you to go to Walgreens, Rite Aid, and other pharmacies as well. Any questions about the added choice plan? Okay, so I'll go ahead and switch over to the value added benefits within Kaiser. This is, again, all reminders. I know you all have had Kaiser for several years now, but I think it's just a good time to have the reminders to use kp.org and all the capabilities that kp.org has. Okay, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I was doing the weird subtitles. Oh, there. I think I turned it off. Okay, so on kp.org, this is where you can do all your virtual visits with your provider. You can do virtual visits with a specialist, urgent care providers as well. Physical therapy, maybe even an option to do virtual care, and then the copay gets waived. You can email your provider with non-urgent questions. A lot of people like to use it for dermatology, since dermatology has a little bit of a longer wait time to get in. You can, upload pictures to kp.org with maybe a picture of a mole or a skin rash and that type of thing, and get answers back, which is very convenient. The most recent update on kp.org is Get Care Now. One of my coworkers, for example, had a situation where he was running a race in Bend, and he woke up the next morning with an eye infection. I think he had pink eye. So he used Get Care Now to say that he was in Bend. He was not near a Kaiser Permanente location. Can he get a prescription for eye drops? And so he got a response back within about 30 minutes or so. They asked which pharmacy they can send the prescription to. It was sent over. Was able to go to Walgreens right there and get the prescription filled. So it was a very seamless experience. So that's just an example of how to use Get Care Now.
Sarah?
Yeah.
I have a question in that scenario. So since he is on the Kaiser only plan, is his copay still the Kaiser in-network pharmacy copay?
Yes, it actually is, because he used the Kaiser system still of using Get Care Now through kp.org. And since he was away more than 50 miles from the closest Kaiser Permanente location, it was able to be considered in-network. Yeah, so it was considered more of an urgent care situation. And urgent care and emergency care are covered no matter where you're at.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
Yes. And I'll go over that here more soon as well. So this is just regarding mail order pharmacy. I kind of already touched upon this, where you can get a 90-day supply for just 2 copays. Also, I'll just highlight that if you do have an urgent care situation and need a prescription to be delivered to you, then we can also deliver it to you through a courier service. There may be a little bit of an additional fee for that, just because it's like Amazon delivering to your doorstep versus having it mailed to your mailbox. And then the newest feature is actually being able to set up automatic refills. And so that's just one last step. If you're already taking a maintenance prescription, you don't have to necessarily go in and prompt it to refill it, where you can schedule the automatic refills. We also have individualized mental health support available to adults, teenagers, and children. So it's all evidence-based treatment and care. We do focus on doing individualized treatments for members. And so With that, there's feedback-informed progress and measurement results that are available to individual members, as well as being able to set goals. So treatment does range from self-care as the free apps that we do have available to Kaiser Permanente members. Primary care can also treat for mental health situations, going into specialty care where you see a counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist, and then all the way to emergency care treatment is available to Kaiser members. This just highlights the 2 apps that we do have available to Kaiser Permanente free of charge. The first app is a Calm app, which you're probably already familiar with. Think of Calm as podcasts that you can listen to in the moment. It helps with being able to reduce stress. If you are able to, sleep is always such an important thing. So if you're someone who has trouble falling to sleep at night, there's podcasts to listen to help you fall asleep. Or if you wake up in the middle of the night, to help you go back to sleep. And then the Calm app has actually evolved over the past few years. So there's now more integration ability where you can actually log into the app, and it has the ability to track how well you are sleeping every night, and different things such as a gratitude check-in. That's also something big, especially with this being the month of Thanksgiving. So check it out if you haven't yet. It is free for you. Typically for the average member, it costs about $70 per year. So it is a big benefit. And then Headspace Care is an app that's available that's all texting. The way that we communicate has evolved over the past 20 years, where texting is now more prevalent than ever. So if you're someone that's more comfortable texting, then you can communicate with a counselor through this app. These are real people. So expect there to be a little bit of a wait to get a response back. So just know that that is available to you as well. And then OnePass Select Affinity is the gym membership discount that's available to Kaiser members. This actually rolled out earlier this year. So I just want to make sure everyone is familiar with it. It's no long-term contracts. You can pay month to month, cancel at any time. So there are different levels of memberships. There's 5 tiers here that's available. There's a digital tier where you can just do it all remotely, and includes there's a lot of different gyms available through it. So this is not all-encompassing. But Classic tends to be the most popular level that people have been selecting. So if you go to LA Fitness, Planet Fitness, those, this actually allows you to go to any of these gyms within this tier. So for example, one of my coworkers, her husband really likes to go to LA Fitness for to do weight, but then he goes to another gym that allows him to do other things. I don't know all the things, but he has a lot of extra time on his hands in the evening. So you go to different gyms, and this does allow him to go to different gyms all for the same price. But then as you go up to the more boutique gyms, such as Orange Theory or CrossFit, then the price gets higher. So this slide here does show the monthly fee. So as you can see here, digital is obviously the most cost effective, and then going to Orange Theory costs more per month, but it especially is good for members that like to jump around to different gyms. And as long as you stay within that tier, you can go to any of those gyms for just one fee per month. Any questions about this program? Okay. And then this gets into urgent care and emergency care. So just so you know, a quick reminder that you do have urgent care available no matter where you're at. If you are right here in the Portland area, you do need to go to a Kaiser Permanente urgent care location. But again, if you're in Bend or out of state, then you can go to any urgent care location and it will be covered according to your benefits. So I just recommend to call the nurse advice line if you do have an urgent care situation that comes up, because they are able to help triage you or help direct you to the closest urgent care location that is available to you. This gets into a little bit more of the urgent care locations. And so we do partner with MinuteClinic locations. They're located in CVS and Target stores throughout the country, as well as other urgent care locations. So the benefit of going to one of these locations, if you are out of state, is that they do have the ability to look up your benefit information and charge you the correct urgent care copay. But no worries if you can't get to one of these locations. Just keep all of your receipts from your urgent care visits and then just upload it to kp.org to get reimbursed up to your urgent care copay. Any questions about that? Okay. And is there by chance anyone newly enrolling with Kaiser Permanente this open enrollment? If so, if you are newly enrolling, then we do have a new member welcome team that's available to any new member to Kaiser Permanente. So we do have the phone number there or the website to help members get started with us, because it can be a little overwhelming. They can help you get set up with a primary care provider, help transfer prescriptions, get set up on kp.org, and so forth. So that's a good starting point. And I think that's all that I have. Yep. Any questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Am I sharing my screen? Oh, good. Perfect. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the flexible spending accounts now that you have available with iSolved. There's a flexible spending account, and there is dependent care, which is also a type of flexible spending account. What they do is you can set aside pre-tax dollars to help you save. The contributions are tax deductible. That's what I'm trying to say. This year for the FSA plans, the maximum contribution is $3,400. That's an increase from last year of $3,300. The rollover has also increased up to $680. The FSA, people like to use their funds for deductibles, co-insurance, prescriptions, even dental and vision expenses, and over-the-counter items. I've got an example of what some of those are. Dependent care. This is the first time in many years that the dependent care maximum has increased. It's consistently been $5,000 for a married couple filing jointly. This year, it's actually increasing. I should say for 2026, it increases to $7,500 for married filing jointly, or $3,750 for a married couple filing separately. Dependent care can be used, primarily people are using it for daycare expenses. And then this is an example of maybe some over-the-counter items that are eligible to use your FSA funds for. So over-the-counter allergy, cold medicine, diabetic care. That is a little bit about your FSA with iSolved. And now if nobody has any questions, I'm going to turn this over to Scott, and he is going to talk about dental and vision benefits.
Perfect. Thank you, Cheryl. And so no changes on your MetLife dental plan this year, and you have an excellent program. If you remember, you have a $50 deductible for an individual. It's 3 deductibles per family. Your maximum benefit is $1,500. And the program pays 100% for your type 1 preventative services. You pay just 10% for any type 2 basic services, and you pay just 40% of any major services. And that maximum benefit is $1,500 per calendar year. You also have out-of-network services. These are for in-network, and MetLife has a huge provider network of dentists. But if you do go out-of-network, the benefits are almost identical. Instead of 10%, it's 20% for type 2. Instead of 40%, it's 50% for type 3. Um, but you could run up against a situation where you could be balance billed. So that's the only concern about going out of network. And in most cases, if it is a balance bill and a cleaning, it's just a matter of a few dollars. But I just want you to be aware of that. Try to go in network at all times if possible, but you can go out of network as well. You also have a great website presence with MetLife. So if you go to MetLife, .com and / my benefits, and this information's in your packet, but you can check your claim status. You can, find participating dentists that are in network, and then you can request an explanation of benefits as well. And like Cheryl said, you can use your flexible spending account for any any dental expenses that aren't being reimbursed. So excellent benefits there. I wanted to just talk a little bit about type 1, which is what they call preventative services. So these are for your on your oral examinations. Those are once every 6 months. Fluoride would be once every 12 months, and like a full mouth exam is once every 60 months, actually once every 5 years for a full mouth x-ray. And so when you look at your packet, there's a lot more detail in terms of your benefits. So for the type 2, which is the basic services, this is a lot of times for your root canal planning, but also composite fillings and root canal surgeries. And so, like for an example, a root canal is once every 24 months. It's not every year; it's every 24 months for root canals. And then type 3, which are your major services, your crowns, your bridges, dentures, and implants. So, and most of these are every 10 years. So you just want to be aware, and your dentist will read your summary of benefits, your explanation of benefits, but these crowns and dentures are once every 10 years. But excellent benefits on your dental. There's also some child benefits as well. So if you have dependent kids under the age of 19, you do have a cap where you would only pay up to $350 for a maximum out of pocket for any children on your program. I think that's any questions on your dental plan. Went through that pretty quick. There's a lot of information there, but no changes. Excellent program. Then you have your vision plan through MISO, and again, no changes on that program, where you have an exam every 12 months after a $10 copay. Your lenses are once every 12 months, and that's just a $25 copay. Your frames are up to $120 allowance every 24 months. And in lieu of, instead of frames, you can do contacts every 12 months, and that's a $100 allowance. And so miso.com for the provider list, but they have a large provider list of vision providers in your area. And if there's no questions on that, pass it back to you, Cheryl.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott. And I am going to stop sharing my screen and turn everything over to Margaret so she can talk to us about the Colonial Life benefits.
Thank you. And my camera won't work now. I had my camera on earlier, and so I apologize, but it won't give me that option. So you're stuck with the picture of me. I don't know what I did. I know. It was so great, wasn't it, Cheryl? For that
I know, I
moment.
never see you.
I know. Because I'm doing it from my laptop, but I don't know what happened. Okay. I am briefly going to go through the plans that you have available through Colonial Life. And I get this to start. There we go. And I'm just going to give you an overview of them. You can get more details through Stephanie, our benefit counselor, and I'm going to show you at the end how you can schedule a time with her. In general, none of our plans, rates, or benefits have changed. Everything is exactly the same. We don't change our benefits and rates on an annual basis, so that's the good news in this chaotic time of plans. If you have a plan that has a wellness benefit, we do encourage you to file that claim every year. Review your plan so that you know if you have that wellness claim that you can get that filed. Colonial Life will go back and many years. So I am just now filing my claims and that. I haven't done it and that. And so I'm going back and I've seen Colonial go back 5-6 years and that. The easiest way to file claims is to become a member of our policyholder website, and you can do that at coloniallife.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a register button, and you register, and you can get a copy of your policy. You can file any claims, including that wellness benefit online. You can update your address. If you leave JHC and you want to continue your policies, you can pay directly through that website. There's even a chat box on that website if you have questions as well. So I encourage you again, if you do have a Colonial Life policy, to become a member and be able to get all the information you need about your policies right at your fingertips. So why are there voluntary benefits? You've heard about all of the great benefits you have there at JHC, your medical, your dental, your FSA, your vision, all of those types of things that are right there as your core base. Well, voluntary benefits are for those unknown things that happen. Your FSA are for those known expenses that, you know, your copays and that you have coming up. But if you had something that happened unexpectedly and you were faced with meeting your deductible and any out-of-pocket expenses, there's different ways that you can supplement those. You can either use your credit cards or savings accounts, or now people crowdsource, you know, the GoFundMe's. But voluntary benefits or supplemental insurance is another way to address those expenses that you would have to address. We offer a variety of plans, disability, accident, life, critical illness, and hospital to you, but by no means does anybody need all of those insurances. The purpose of offering them is not for you to become insurance poor, but be able to customize your benefit package around you and your family's needs. One of the things that happens when you meet with Stephanie is that she will go through and talk to you about what you're concerned with and look at plans that really meet what your concerns are. You can only go off of what you know about yourself to pick insurance benefits. Murphy's Law says if you get everything, something else happens to you and that. So I'm just going to give you an overview of what plans are available. So then it helps you if you're interested, if you're remotely interested in getting quotes in that, when you set your appointment with Stephanie, you kind of have a direction of where you want to go. And the first one is short-term disability. So here in the state of Oregon, we have Paid Leave Oregon, which will help provide a benefit for up to 12 weeks for you being off of work. It also provides benefits if you're caring for a family member, but if you are unable to work due to your disability, it does provide a benefit for that. Our plan is a plan that what we call dovetails into the end of it. So if you have used your Paid Leave Oregon and you are still off of work, you could have a plan through Colonial Life that doesn't start for 90 days, but then provides a benefit out for 12 or 24 months. You have that option. So this is a way that you again can create a financial safety net for you and your family for disability insurance, so that you know if you are off past that time, you still have money coming into the household to address your household bills. That's what disability insurance is for, is to help you still pay your mortgage and rent and car insurance and visa, everything that still continues to come in regardless of whether you can work or not. So I encourage you to take a look at the disability plan. If you want to put a plan B in place after Paid Leave Oregon, if you want to ensure that you do have something there just in case something goes longer than what Paid Leave Oregon happens to pay. This plan is portable, so if life took you someplace else, you can pay directly to Colonial and keep that plan. The rates do not go up as you cross age bands, as you get older, basically. And that, or year to year, it stays exactly the same. The cost of the insurance, again, Stephanie can provide you because it's based on your income and what percentage you want to cover. You can cover up to 60% or lower, and how long you want to provide, get that benefit for. The next plan is our accident plan, and this plan pays hospitals and services that you would use for hospitals and services that you would use in an accident, and body parts that are hurt, like a fracture or a dislocation. This plan is great if you've got children or you're really active, out there doing all the things, hiking and biking, the things that we do here in the Pacific Northwest, and you're concerned that that is where your out-of-pocket expenses are going to come from. So the plan pays those lump sum benefits, again, directly to you. We don't pay the doctors and hospitals. The monies come directly to you. You don't actually even have to be on the insurance at JHC. You can be on a different insurance. Colonial doesn't care. We don't look at what your medical insurance provides. The example you see there is with Olivia, who was driving her car and got into a car accident. And she uploaded to the portal a copy of her explanation of benefits and billings, anything that had what we call a CPT code on it, tying it to the service or the injury. And the claims department goes through it and they match it to the benefits on her accident plan. And you see there, she had a benefit for the ambulance and x-ray, CT. She'd have some surgery, follow-up treatment, physical therapy. It paid out over $5,800 directly to her. Again, no strings attached to the money. It's paid out based on what happened to her, but paid out so that then she could use it for any of those other expenses. She may have had to pay somebody to take her to physical therapy or use a lift. She can use that money to reimburse gas or to pay for the lift rides. Again, no strings attached to it. The average cost, advanced on me. The average cost of an accident plan is about $20 a month, and that's so not hugely expensive, and you can get family members on that plan as well. The next plan is our critical illness plan. So maybe you're not concerned about an accident exposing you to those out-of-pocket expenses, but you're concerned because of family history and maybe your lifestyle, what you eat, drink, and chew, that you may suffer from a critical illness, like a diagnosis of cancer or a stroke or a heart attack. This plan will pay a lump sum benefit, again, directly to you to use it for those expenses. So unlike the accident plan that had those list of different benefits, this is just a lump sum similar to life insurance, and that would pay out to you. The cost of it is priced like life insurance. It depends on how old you are, if you use tobacco, and how much you want that lump sum benefit to be. You see there on the screen that Colonial Life guarantees issues up to $20,000 on that plan. And what that means to you is that we don't ask any health questions for up to $20,000 on that plan. So that could be really important to you if you have a chronic illness such as type 1 diabetes, that these types of plans have been out of reach for you because of that illness. So I encourage you to take a look at that plan because of that guarantee issue. It may be something that really can come in handy for you later on down the road. You can also get family members on that plan. We also offer life insurance, and we offer two different types of life insurance, whole life and term life. Life insurance is that type of plan that is designed to help you create a financial security net for your family if you were no longer here. People who are looking towards you for finances, and your responsibility to them is for finances, like your children. You get enough life insurance to help them continue on with their life for as long as you feel you need to. For example, if you have children, maybe you want them to be able to get through college or a trade school, and you want to leave enough life insurance for them to get to that point. Or you want to leave money to your spouse to be able to pay off your house. That is kind of how you determine how much life insurance you have. You can't emotionally replace yourself in the household. You can only do it through financial means, and that's through life insurance. Term life insurance is that life insurance you see advertised everywhere. It's the cheapest form of insurance that there is out there. And people who have a lot of financial responsibilities in their life during that period get term life since it's the cheapest form in that. There's no cash value in it. The rates stay the same on that plan through the term, and that term could be 10, 15, 20, or 30 years. And then the rates go up after that term based on your age only. So there's no new medical or anything questionnaire that you have to qualify for. It just goes up based on your age. Again, it's the cheapest form of life insurance there is out there. And so that's why people will get large amounts for when they need more financial security for their family. And then you have whole life insurance. And whole life insurance has a cash value in it, different than term life. So what happens with whole life is you pay the premiums in, and part of that premium goes into a cash account that Colonial pays interest on, and the other part goes to pay for that life insurance amount that would go to your families. Okay? So some people like the fact, and you may have heard your parents or grandparents talk about how they borrowed against their life insurance or they cashed in their life insurance at some point. Well, that's what they're talking about is a whole life plan. They like that they have a cash value and they could get something back out from that plan. And so whole life insurance is great for that. Also, the rates don't change on that plan. So when you sign up for it, the rate that you sign up for it at stays through the whole life of the policy. It's another reason why people get it is that they know what their rates are. They're not going to change after 10, 15, 20 years. You can also add what we call a chronic care rider to that plan. You see that highlighted in green there on the right. And what that is if you were to lose 2 of your activities of daily living, like dressing or getting up from your chair or going to the restroom, you can actually tap into that whole life insurance to have a benefit paid out to you for home health care. So in this day and age, it's really important to be able to pay for care into the household. People tend to heal quicker and get better quicker and don't end up in nursing homes. And so that benefit may be really important to you. So I encourage you to look at the plan if that's something that you have been contemplating of what you would do if that happened to you. You also see there's guarantee issue on the whole life insurance, up to $200,000 if you're under the age of 50, and $75,000 if you're between the ages of 51 and 79. You can also get this plan for family members. Term insurance, you can get it as well, and you don't have to get it yourself. So maybe you're well insured, but your spouse is not. You can get one of these plans for them without you having to get the insurance yourself. And the last plan is our hospital confinement plan. And this is just my plain little vanilla plan that pays out a lump sum if you go into the hospital or you have an outpatient surgery. That is normally where people will encounter their deductibles and out-of-pocket maxes are on those 2 things. And so this is a way just to reinsure that deductible and out-of-pocket max for the hospitalization or outpatient surgery. Again, the money is paid directly to you, and you can use it to pay any deductible expenses that you have. But it's based on being hospitalized or having an outpatient surgery. So how do you enroll? You can enroll by scheduling an appointment with the benefit counselor. And I will get to Jan the link to our Calendly. I thought I had it on here, I did not. But I will get it to her, and you can schedule directly with Stephanie, and Stephanie will meet with you. Oh, there it is. It was on my last slide. So if you want time with Stephanie to either review your plan or look into, get a quote on a plan, you can take out your camera on your phone and highlight that and schedule a time with her. I will get this to Jen as well. If you can't get it out in time, then we will get that to you and you can schedule a time with Stephanie. Are there any questions? I can't see the question box.
I have not seen any questions in the chat, but anybody have any questions for Sarah, for Margaret, for myself and Scott? All right. Well, if you have any questions that come up, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help you. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much. Jen, any other remarks? I think everyone needs to have everything in by end of day on the 24th.
Okay,
I
think you've covered everything. Thank you, Cheryl.
Great. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Joseph Hughes Construction Company.